80.
Karina.
80.
What's up, guys?
What's up? Why is it so empty again?
Y'all excited to be here?
Yes.
That wasn't good enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll work on it. Hey, what do you want to do? What do you want to do?
Arkansas.
That's what I usually say. Water. You go to Arkansas? That sounds fun. Who else is going to Arkansas? Son of Phoenix. Who else is going to Arkansas? Alright. It's in 5 call Arkansas. It's only $50. And if y'all can't afford it because of money, go talk to Adam and you can get a scholarship for it. And all you have to do is scan the QR code and do a picture from last week. And I can tell you from last year whenever I went, it was fun and something you won't want to miss. So, y'all interested in going? Where are you going? It's like quiet.
Yeah.
It was barely anything. Anybody.
I love you again.
How long did it take you to get from here to there?
How long did it take? It took 8 hours. Give or take. Alright, I'm tired of talking. Y'all ready to play a game?
Yeah.
Game.
Hey, I said game.
Come on, Gabe.
Games with Reagan.
No.
Games with Gage is bad.
Move like the chairs to one side, like right down here. Whoever moves the chairs the slowest is put the trash can. What's that one chair over there? No. All right. So this game is called Trash Can Canned. What do you guys need to do? Oh, how do I play, Reagan? That's a great question. Everyone make a circle around the trash can. Hold hands. If you don't want to hold hands, we'll give you trinkets.
There's Germex right here if you want to use it. You want Germex? Here, right
We call that a circle. That's a triangle.
Yeah, triangle. Double play.
Come on, don't be afraid. They're all washed. Jacob, go up there. If you condone this, you're giving Germex.
Why are you rubbing it so much?
Come on, guys, we need a circle. We got a semicircle. I said a circle, not a semicircle. It's half a circle. Well, too bad. Jacob's friendly.
Come on, guys, this circle isn't complete. These are arcs.
It says in a circle. Let's make a bigger circle.
Bigger circle.
Yeah. Hey, y'all come join the circle. And then let's go. Logan, white shirt. Let's go. Come on. Hey, y'all make room for the people in the back. Y'all make room for the people in the back. Yeah. Hey, make room for those 2 ladies back there. Come on.
Sorry, one lady, my bad. All right, everyone hold hands. If you don't, we can't play.
Hold hands. It's not that bad. Evan, I'm waiting on you.
It's not cheating on your girlfriend or boyfriend. It's fine. Hold hands. All right. Is everyone holding hands? Now I'm going to tell you the objective of the game. What you have to... Do you remember, Reagan? What you have to do is you have to grab your neighbor and try and make them touch the trash can. Jordan, hold hands. Not yet. I guess... Wait. All right, Reagan, you're gonna. A little to the right. Yeah. All right. So when I say go, you guys are gonna try and not touch the trash can, but you're gonna try and get your neighbor to touch the trash can. Do not throw your neighbor in the trash can. That is not.
Hey, y'all come through it. Hey, y'all make a bigger circle. Y'all scoot back. Hold hands.
Everyone hold hands.
Just a sec. Are we all holding hands? Okay.
All right. When I say go, you're gonna try and sling your neighbor into the trash. Don't hurt your neighbor. Just try and make them touch it.
If you get hurt, it's not our fault. Be mature.
It's Caleb's fault. You ready? You better hurry. 3, 2, 1, go! What the heck? Oh. Who touched it first?
Let's go.
All right, you're gonna sit out.
Whoever touched it's out.
The circle's gonna get closer and closer until it's just 2 people. Jordan,
Can y'all
hold.
hear me? Hey, I want to.
All right, Reagan, take it.
Hey, y'all ready? Y'all ready? 3, 2, 1, stop. I said stop.
He said stop. Guys.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, what the heck?
If you're out,
I said
go.
no.
If you're out, go to the side.
Did all of you guys touch the trash can?
Close the circle. Jacob, hold hands.
Close the circle. Get closer if you have to.
Hey, is that a trash can in the middle? Thank you, Fletcher.
Good job, Fletcher.
Good job, Fletcher.
Remember, the goal is to not touch the trash can. On your marks, get set, go!
Hey, go! Jacob. Tom, she's out.
Riley, are you hurting people?
Riley, I think you should be disqualified.
All right, hey, close the circle.
Close the circle. Close the circle. Thank you. Hey, 3, 2, 1.
Don't say stop.
Go.
Oh, he's gonna touch it. Oh!
Tom. You okay? You okay?
Do we have any injuries on the court? No.
If so,
close the circle. Close the circle.
Close the circle.
Triangle. Are you ready?
Hey, y'all ready?
3.
Hey, y'all ready?
2, 1.
He didn't say go.
Go! What the heck? The circle broke! Jordan, what the heck? What are you guys doing? I feel like this isn't sanctified.
Tom! Whoa! Whoa!
Say
no! Whoa!
No!
Whoa!
Whoa!
No. Don't help her. Jake,
Open Jake. Jacob.
form the circle.
Form a circle.
Close the
If you break
circle.
the circle, you're out of the circle. Don't
Yeah.
break the circle again.
Yeah, new rule.
Let
If
go
the
of
circle
hands.
breaks while you're in the middle of it, you're out. Okay? Okay. It's fine. It doesn't count.
You ready?
3,
2.
1. Go. Hey, Riley.
Are you guys even trying? Who's it gonna be?
Go that side. Go that side.
Come on, put some elbow grease into it. Don't be too rough. What the heck?
Whoa!
Ah,
Tom!
Riley! the circle,
Riley's
guys. Close
out.
the circle. Riley, don't be
Hey,
a sore loser.
I'm not the judge. Hey, close the circle. Thank you. Hold hands. It's not
Hold
that
hands, hold hands. You guys want to finish this or not?
bad. 3,
2, 1, go. Who's the MVP?
Time.
Someone fell
Time.
over. Someone fell over. Stop.
He still held. He still had on. No, he still had one hand.
He was fine. He
still
fell
had
over on
one
accident.
hand.
It's fine.
You still have one hand. You're fine. Keep it
I
going.
didn't say go.
I didn't say stop.
That's true. Go. What the heck? You didn't say stop, guys. Oh, what was that? I heard
Whoa!
trash can
Time! Time!
Someone got trash can canned.
Hey, y'all form a circle.
Form a circle, guys. Guys, we can't get a perfect circle. What do we look like? Astrophysicists?
All right. 1, 2, 3, go!
Who was that?
Ed.
Oh no!
Okay, that's fine. Okay, good. I saw something different.
All right. Put your hands together.
Put your hands, hold it for me. Don't talk it. All right. 3. Hold hands.
Hold hands.
Hold hands. 3.
2, 1.
Go!
Oh!
Time.
Oh, that was quick. Hold hands, hold hands. Double microphone. Close the circle. Last man or woman standing. 3,
2. Hey, y'all ready? Y'all ready? 3, 2, 1, stop. I said
He said
stop.
stop! What are you guys doing?
3, 2, 1, go. Hey, wait. Stop.
Thank you, got the cord wrapped.
Time.
Okay?
Time.
It's fine. Go.
Go.
Hey, don't break the circle.
Time.
You let go.
Now, close the circle.
You're out of here, Jordan. You let go of
Close the
both
circle.
hands. Begging won't help you. Bye.
Bye.
You have to ask the Lord for forgiveness on that one.
3,
2,
1.
go!
Is Brianna out?
Ah! He's still on. Don't kick him, Reggie, you cheater. What the heck?
Time. No, keep it going. My bad. Keep it going.
Pull it back.
Okay, they only have one hand.
He did.
I did that earlier.
Come
One
on.
hand. This is taking too long. Time.
You guys,
Seriously, can't get anybody out? I mean, watch how easy. See?
it's that easy, guys.
All right.
Hold hands,
Hold
come
on.
on.
Hurry up. We can make another round. 3, 2,
1, go.
go. Make it quick.
Come on, make it quick. I got lunch to go to. Oh! Pull him on! What are you doing? Pull him on!
Time. Hey, I have an idea. Bye. Close the circle. We only have a minute
We only
and
have a minute
10
and 12 seconds.
70 seconds left. Let's go. 3, 2, 1,
Go!
go.
Come on, man.
Let's go.
Pull harder. These are middle schoolers. What if he's a high schooler? Oh! Broke hand, get hands
Hurry
back.
up, group 3, 2,
Ball!
time,
Here,
time.
here. Hurry! We got 40 seconds.
3, 2, 1, go!
Go! What are you doing?
Time. Y'all like what's the trash can way over here? 3, 2, 1,
Go! What are you guys doing? Stop going around.
time. I said time. I said time.
Oh!
Bye. Bye. All right, 3. Hey,
Two,
wait.
one.
3, 2, 1, go!
Just push him in
3,
the trash can.
2,
Get that
1,
can. Push him in the
go!
trash can.
Time. I win. Hey, since nobody won, I won.
Right, let's go. 1v1.
Y'all won.
You all won. Good job. You guys survived until time ran out. All right, now it's right.
Our game. I did not hear what you just said. Chairs back. Let's do this fast. It's our game. Okay, well, not sure how many of you have played this, but now it's time to play Baby Back Bronco. Okay, so all of y'all are going to need to get a partner. to play.
Actually, Riley, it's Baby Bronco Backpack.
What did I say?
You said,
Baby Backpack Bronco.
well, someone doesn't know this game.
Get partners.
All right, you're going to need partners for this game.
Okay, so we're going to start talking about it and go and get a partner. Now.
Everyone stand up and go find a partner to play with.
Perfect. Jacob, get up. Okay, who doesn't have a partner?
All right, Jordan, you want to go over there?
Okay, does everyone have a partner? Evan, do you have a partner?
Everyone point to your partners.
No, Evan has a partner. He's literally pointing at someone. Gage, play with Ed.
Wait,
No. Kevin, you're playing with Jake. Yes, you are. Okay, time to play. How fun. Okay, so. Oh,
you can play with Reagan.
go play with Reagan. Yes. Okay, so we're going to explain
All right.
while y'all get that settled. So, what's going to happen is there's going to be one of three things that show up. There's going to be
There's going to be a
your
baby,
backpack where
a
you.
backpack. No, I don't want to do it.
Come here.
I'm too hard.
Come here. There's going to be a backpack.
This is a backpack.
It's a backpack, y'all. Next.
Wait,
There's
let's
the
just.
baby.
All right, show a baby. This is a baby.
This is a baby.
And then Bronco.
This is the horse.
So the TV will start spinning with the objects, and whichever it lands on, you and your teammate have to do it before everyone else.
Okay, so
And the last person to complete it is out.
okay, so everyone get up and get in an open area. Go sit over there. Sit.
You wanna? Let's do a practice round. Let's do Riley. Let's do a practice round. I got double the mics.
Okay, first round is starting. Baby!
No, this is the practice round.
Get up. Pick Logan up right now.
All right, you can.
Okay, we have decided that there are two losers this round. Take your loser seats. You will be missed.
It was a test round, Riley.
They don't want to play.
All right.
Next round. Next round. Baby! I think Brianna. Oh, next round. Special starting. Bronco!
I feel like it was their team.
You do? If you say so.
All right. Can we get the top 3 teams right in the front, please?
Ooh, it's getting down to it.
We can have another round, I think, if we have time.
Isn't this so exciting?
All right.
Baby!
Yeah.
Okay, we have 2 teams
I
left.
think it was
Who do you
Young.
think's gonna win? Do you think Jorge
Okay.
and Kiera? I love you. What do you think they're gonna win? Yeah. Or Jake and Katie? Yeah. Time for the last round to begin.
This is the finale.
2 minutes.
This is intense.
Oh, Jake and Katie won!
Good job, good job.
Time to pray. Okay, y'all. Time to wind down for a second. Get ready for our sermon. So we're going to pray. I'm going to do it. Okay, so bow your heads. Dear Lord, thank you for everything you've given us, and thank you for letting us come together. I pray that everyone will have a good week at school and that they're able to keep their grades up and that they're able to come to church every Wednesday and be able to hear this lesson that Adam's provided for us. I hope that everyone can have a good short talk after the sermon and be able to get closer to God afterwards. Amen.
Amen. Hey, y'all, kind of scoot apart more for me and then move up just a little bit for me. Okay? We got to try to keep, even though our games were not social distanced very well. Hold on. Let me see. Check. Oh, yeah, I like this one better. Maybe not. You got this one? Check 1, 2. Ooh, maybe I shouldn't. Go back to the other one, maybe? Do I need to? Hi, Caleb. How are you? Very good. And if you want to click off this thing, click off this. Well, he's doing everything. Everybody give Caleb just a round of applause for me. Just it is such a pain in the tuchus to work for me sometimes. I feel so bad. And it's even worse to be related to me, I think. So, wait, Caleb, which one's worse? Working for me or being related to me? Cue video. Very good. Okay, so, all right, we are starting a new series tonight, and it is called Free People. Free People. And I think this is one of those series that you will actually really enjoy because it kind of kills some of those misunderstandings when it comes to religion. And so if you are a first-time guest in here, first of all, I hope that you've had a good time tonight. I hope that you feel welcomed. And if you aren't a Christian or don't ever claim to be a Christian, that's okay. We love that you're here because the truth is that we try to preach something that would be helpful for anybody, whether you believed in God or not. And you're always welcome here, no matter what your background is or whatever it may be. But let me ask you a question. What is one rule that you absolutely hate to follow and why? One rule you hate to follow. It can be anywhere, anyhow, whatever it may be, and why. Go ahead, Gage. What you got?
When I'm at home, I have to keep the lights on. Every single time, no matter what.
I asked about a rule, not a preference. That's just a preference. But thank you for the bowel updates. Okay. All right. Yes, go ahead. What you got? Ooh, the dress code. How many of you guys can't stand the dress code? Like, you're like, it drives you crazy. Okay. All right. Why do you hate that? You can only wear one type of clothing. Okay, it's uncomfortable. Okay. Hey, true story. I don't like it either because it makes my job much harder, and that's the reason why we don't end up having T-shirts and stuff for everything, because you got to go and get them approved for you to even wear them anywhere, and it's a pain in the butt. So we just don't do it. All right. What's another rule you hate to follow and why? Go ahead. Oh, so you're like my kids then. Your bedtime, you hate to follow your bedtime. So you just go in there. What do you do whenever you're supposed to be going to bed? Do you just go in there and just like stare at the wall angrily like, I'm still wide awake? Okay, that's good. You talk to your sister? Is she okay, so she's in the same room? Oh, please tell me no. She's across the hall, isn't she? Hey, sister! I'm still awake. Are you awake? That's what my girls would do. Please tell me they grow out of that. Your dog would? Yeah. He's like, stop! It's because it's bedtime. He's really tired. I understand. Poor guy. I feel really bad. Well, sometimes following rules is really, really frustrating. In fact, I want to give you a little bit of an idea, or I want to tell you that it doesn't get easier when you're an adult. Just because you grow up and you suddenly are free from some certain rules doesn't mean that you still don't have other rules. And the reason I know this is because if you spend any moment on YouTube, you'll realize that there are still adults that throw major temper tantrums. In fact, just watch this video super quick, real quick.
More and more adults are being caught on camera throwing temper tantrums.
But there could be something deeper and more serious going on.
They go to 0 to 100 really fast.
They may be suffering from a condition called intermittent explosive disorder. It affects as many as 1 in 20 people.
Well, that escalated quickly.
What makes the disorder different from a bad temper, experts say, is the extreme response. Cursing at someone who cuts you off while driving, that's pretty typical. But chasing the car down and ramming it could be a sign of the disorder.
You think?
One man who started a vlog about...
All right, you can switch off of this. You know, this is actually so popular. They came up with a name for specifically middle-aged women who throw temper tantrum. Y'all know what that name is? A Karen, right. Now, there are Karen compilations all over the place, and it is absolutely an accurate thing because there are still people who will throw a humongous fit, adults, and act like little tiny toddlers, and it is ridiculous. I felt like my 2-year-old sometimes acts better than some of the adults that I've met in my life. But the truth is that they're throwing temper tantrums. Why? Why? They're not getting what they want, right? It's the same exact reason that a toddler. When I tell my toddler, no, you cannot pick up the duck poop. And she starts throwing a temper tantrum, it's because she's not allowed to pick up the duck poop. But what she doesn't know is duck poop is gross. Like, stop touching the duck poop, you crazy person. Toddlers are a little bit crazy. Did you know that? They're a little bit crazy. It's okay. The only difference between a parent and a psycho is action, right? Because when I became a parent, I realized something very quickly. There are two conflicting emotions. I've never loved something holding in my arms so much that I would literally die for it, and at the very same moment want to throw it out of the window, right? The only difference between a psychotic person and a parent is just action, because the thoughts are there, okay? I'm just going to tell you that right now, okay? So every time you think your parents, are not crazy, they're crazy, okay? They could snap at any moment. Yes? A what? A mushroom? Oh, okay. Fair enough. Okay. All right. So we are starting a new series about rules. Okay? Because everybody in here just loves rules, don't you? You love rules? Everybody loves rules. Okay? That you have two ways to respond to a rule, right? You can either, one, absolutely just buck the rule because you're like, I hate this. This is stupid. I'm not going to bed at 9:30. I'm still wide awake. Like, there's no way I'm doing that. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to throw a temper tantrum in my own way. Or, on the opposite end, maybe you're like a crazy rule follower. Anybody in here like that? I feel like the ones, yeah, there's pointing now going on. They're like, Her. She's the one that every time I'm like, let's go do something, she's like, that's not what we're supposed to do, right? Yeah, look at all the pointing going on right now. Right. And you that can even be crazy sometimes too. You could go a little crazy about that. But we're going to be talking about rules, specifically rules with regards to our relationship with Christ. Because a lot of times there's this misunderstanding that when you think of God, you think he's like a God full of like rules. Like when you look at the Bible, how many have ever heard that? Like, oh, it's just a bunch of rules. Like these are just a bunch of rules. If you haven't, then you should read the Old Testament because there's a lot of rules. In fact, we'll get into how many here in a minute. But before we do that, I want to do a quick experiment or exercise. Hold on one second. Students, leaders, come help me real quick. Okay, pass out like a handful of these to each of the students. Okay. And a pen. Grab some pens right here. Each will get a pen. Okay. Pens. Go ahead, rip them out. Go as fast as you can. Okay, so what's going to happen is, we don't have a timer for this, it's okay. Give them a handful. Like they're gonna need probably like 5 or 10 or so. You're gonna have 60 seconds to write down as many rules as you possibly can on this piece of paper, okay? 60 seconds. They can be rules about anything, okay? 60 seconds, okay? And in a moment, I'll start the timer, okay? I've got a timer, Caleb, so don't worry about it. Okay, it's okay. We got some. We got plenty. All right, we'll have 60 seconds here in just a moment. Okay, tell me when everybody's got it. Everybody got papers, pens? Okay, we're going to take 60 seconds, okay? Ready, set, go. Write as many rules as you can. They can be about whatever you want. Write as many rules as you possibly can. If you run out of papers, no problem. You can just continue writing them on the back of the note cards or whatever you want. Doesn't matter. One on each paper is fine. Yep. About 30 seconds left. $20 seconds. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's do this. Here in a second, what I want you to do is I want you to, student leaders, go ahead and collect them up. Collect all of them, doesn't matter. Okay, when you are a teenager specifically, rules can be, listen, we're going to speed through this, okay? Rules can be very, very frustrating. Shh, do it quietly. When you are a teenager, rules can be very, very frustrating, especially when you're a teenager, because you're kind of caught in between that whole, like, am I a kid or am I like adult? Am I independent or am I dependent on somebody? Do I get the freedom to choose or am I stuck completely? Rules or freedom? And you have to ask yourself a question like, shh, listen. What do you do? Well, the problem is that we're going to talk specifically about Christians in here. If you are a Christian, we have a tendency to look at rules like this. Yep, go ahead and throw those in here. We look at rules like this. This is us, and all the rules are doing are caging us up, are restricting us, are constricting anything that we could possibly do as a free person, right? Just throw them all in, it's okay. And I'm here to tell you that this is absolutely incorrect. This is not a real way to really look at rules. But we can't get past this. And let me give you an example. A lot of us, like, what was your name? Yes. Livy? Okay. A lot like Livy, you have a bedtime at 9:30. Do you feel like you could break that bedtime? No, you get in trouble, right? So does that feel very constricting? Does that feel like you're like, oh, I'm stuck to this? Every night, I know what's going to happen. I'm stuck to this. How about the dress code? A lot of us feel very constricted about that dress code. You got no other option. You got to wear school-approved stuff or get in trouble, right? Does that feel very restrictive? Does that feel like you're caged in, like you're locked into this? Well, here's the thing. I'm going to tell you about this guy named James in the Bible. Now, James, he wrote a book in the Bible. It's almost all the way at the end of the book of the Bible. But James was a very specific person to talk about rules. Number one was he was the brother of Jesus himself. So after Jesus died, rose from the grave, ascended back into heaven, here's James left over, who becomes now the lead or the head of all of the Jerusalem church. Now, it's important to understand this because the Jerusalem church was made up of mostly converted what? Anybody know? Go ahead. Not Christians. They became Christians, but they used to be something else. In Jerusalem. Yeah. Jews. Now, Jews were, let me ask you a question, Fletcher. Do you know this answer? Were Jews really particular about rules? Yes, absolutely. Anybody in here know why? Because they were God's people. And rules were set forth and given to them in the Old Testament to help them become righteous in God's sight, to help draw themselves or become closer to God, to restore a broken relationship with God. And God gave them all these rules. Not only all of them, he gave them like over 600 of them. In fact, there's a quick video that's just going to play like in the background right here. It's that blue screen. There's 600 of these commandments, 613 of these commandments. Now, each one of these commandments were given for a specific reason. One, it was to draw them closer to God. Two, it was to protect them and set them apart from other people in the world because they were God's chosen people, right? So God gave them all of these commandments, and they took these commandments and they took it way further, right? And we'll find this out here in a second. But Jews, now understanding that their only way to have a restored relationship with God, the Father, was to follow these rules. Now, these rules ranged anywhere from you can't wear mixed clothing. Like if anybody's wearing like a polyester cotton blend shirt, like don't do that. Another rule is like if you're riding your horse down the road and you see an ox that has strayed away from a field somewhere, you stop right that moment, you go get that ox and you find its person. You do everything you can to find its owner, right? And if any of y'all like bacon or shrimp, you would not be a big fan of the rules in the Old Testament. Okay? But they were there for a specific reason. We've heard of the 10 Commandments. They're part of these 600 plus rules. But rules were a huge deal. So for James, the brother of Jesus, to stand there and speak about rules, it's going to be a big deal because Jews build their entire faith off of rules. And so this is what he says. In James chapter 1, we're going to read in verse 22. Okay? James chapter 1, verse 22, he says this, "But be doers of the word." Everybody say doers. Not hearers only. Say hearers. Deceiving yourself, for if anyone is a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like a man who looks intently at his natural face in a mirror, for he looks at himself and then goes away at once and forgets what he is like. But the one who looks into the perfect law, the law of liberty, and perseveres, being no hearer who forgets, but a doer who acts, he will be blessed in his doing. Now, I don't know about you, but my ADD cannot read that passage without going, hearers, doers, doers, hearers, mirror. What is happening? Anybody else's mind kind of go, ooh. No, I'm the only one in here? Great. You guys are better interpreters of Scripture than I am, okay? So here's what James is saying. Let me make it very simple. He says you want to be close to God. You want to have a relationship with God. You have to do three things. Number one, you have to do what God says. Everybody say, do what God says. Okay, well, that's great. But here's the thing. Have you ever heard that argument, like, where does a parent ever say, like, stop yelling because I said so? Just do it because I told you to do it. Go to bed because I said so. Well, that doesn't seem very approachable now, does it? No, they have no reasoning behind that. Great. You should honor your mother and father. That is one of the big 10, okay? But the thing is that's not what God is saying here. God isn't saying, do what I say because I said so. Okay, well, if he's not saying that, we need to understand the second thing he's saying. Because he wants us to do this, because God's word helps us see ourselves clearly. Okay, you're like, great, I'm looking at this all that I want, and I'm not seeing myself at all. Like, that's just words. I got nothing here. Just words. In fact, if I were to look at this in a non-literal way, all this is showing me is that I'm breaking all the rules. I really like bacon, okay? I break most of the bacon rules all the time, okay? And if I see an oxen on the side of the road, I'm just going to leave it there because I don't know why an oxen is in Southeast Texas, okay? Like, I'm breaking the rules, so I don't know how that's showing me. So what's the third thing that James is saying? Okay, well, following God's love gives us freedom, okay? And that's what he says in verse 25. But the one who looks into the perfect law, okay, looks into the perfect law, being no hearer, or the law of liberty, the law of freedom, okay, and perseveres, being no hearer who forgets, but a doer who acts, he will be blessed in his doing. So you're like, okay, James, great. The perfect law, wonderful. Which one of them 613 ones is the perfect law? Anybody know? Cool, I'm going to tell you. Well, Jesus clears this up, right? In Matthew. Okay, let me set the scene for you. Here's Jesus. Jesus is now speaking to the people who are the absolute rock stars in Christianity, the Pharisees, right? And the Pharisees not only have all 613 of these things memorized, they do every single one. And they let you know it. They're like, I'm doing it. All of them. So theoretically, they should be the most like Christian of the time, right? The most godly of the time. So they come to Jesus and say, hey, Jesus, you claiming to be God? Okay, God's son? Let me ask you a question. 613 laws? Which one's the most important? Now, if you weren't the son of God, you'd probably be like, the bacon one? Because if I choose one, then that puts it over the other ones, and that's not right, okay? But Jesus, because he wrote them, gave the perfect answer. Anybody know what it was? Go ahead. Yes. He says this, and to one of them, a lawyer asked him a question, teacher, which one of the great commandments of the law? Now, he's a lawyer, so he knows law, right? He says this, and he said to him, you shall love the Lord your God with all of your heart, with all of your soul, and with all of your mind. This is the great and first commandment, and the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commands depend the law of the prophets. Okay, so Jesus gives a perfect answer. He says, look, if you do these things, number one, love God with everything, and then love your neighbor as yourself, everything else will fall into place. That's all that matters. Why? Because you'll be protected, you'll be set apart, and you'll be close to me. So when you look at it like that, then it's easy to understand that the people who are the closest to God, the ones who follow all 613 rules, are also the farthest from God because they don't love God and they don't love their neighbor. Which means if those are the only two things we got to follow, that means technically we would be closer to God just by loving God and loving our neighbor than the people who follow 613 laws. Agreed? Everybody say yes. So that brings us to this point. The right rules will set us free. Back to the cage. We look at the rules and we're like, we're just caged up by all these rules. We're stuck. We're stuck constantly. But the truth is that the right rules set us free. One last video, and it's going to play behind me. There is an intersection in Japan. How many of you guys like Japanese food? Love it. It's my favorite. This is the first birthday that I didn't eat it, okay? Go ahead and show the video. It's that it should be right here. Okay, so 90 seconds worth. This is the busiest intersection of all of the world, which means people are walking across crosswalks and people are driving, right? Every single person, thousands and thousands and thousands of people every single day walk up to this intersection and do one thing. They stare. They're all waiting for something. What are they waiting for? Yeah, but how do they know when to walk? Oh, right there. You see that right there? They're all staring at this one thing. Why? Lets them know when to walk. What happens if they choose to walk without looking? Yeah, they ain't going. It's going to be a different video. Luckily, that's not how this is. This is a rule. This is a law that everyone there, I'm going to tell you, is absolutely happy to follow. Why? Because it's the right rule. It's for their own safety, right? And so 2,500 people cross every 3.3 minutes of the day. You better believe they are dependent upon one single light. Bloop. Like, oh, time to go, right? You see, the right rules right here, they actually free us. They actually free us. Our job is to fit into the one rule that God gave us. So I'm going to give you two examples and then we're done, okay? Because I know a lot of you are like, okay, this is just broad spectrum, I don't care. Okay, so let's say this. We can skip past this. Here's the two examples. The first rule is to love God. The second rule is to love others. So how does everything filter through that? Well, here we go. Let's just say your mom or your dad says, honey, you can definitely go to your friend's house and stream on Twitch. It sounds super fun, I guess, but make sure you're home by 7 p.m. And you're like, what? She's like, it's a school night. And you're like, seriously? You have two ways to respond to this, right? Number one, how can you respond? What do you think? Go ahead.
Not doing it.
You'd be like, I ain't doing that. I'm playing, I don't know what's popular anymore. I was going to say Fortnite, but I don't think that's so popular. Minecraft, okay, yeah. So I'm playing whatever, the popular one. I'm playing, I can't be back in like an hour. That doesn't even give us enough time to get up enough viewership. Like, no, I'm not doing that, right? Now let me ask you a question. Is that loving God or loving others?
Loving yourself.
That's only loving yourself, right? Well, that's weird. That doesn't fit into what God asked. So maybe reframe the question like this. How can I love my parents better? Because what happens if suddenly it's 7:30 and you're not home? They haven't heard from you. You may be in trouble. They get what? They probably get scared, probably worried, a little anxious. Now it rolls on to 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. You think they're going to be sleeping well? No. They're probably already calling the police. Absolutely. Probably both because they're about to be, arrested for murder. And two, they don't know if you're a missing person or not, right? So is it really loving to be like, no, I ain't doing that? No, it's not. You have to love God, love others. So the second one is this, loving others. You're soon going to be driving. And maybe one day you're like, you know what? It's fine to text and drive. I got this. Seems harmless, like whatever, no big deal. But let me ask you a question. Is it really loving others when you make that decision? No, why? Yeah, because you can hurt yourself and hurt others, right? So maybe reframe the question like this. How can I love others better while driving? That would stop a lot of those temper tantrums, wouldn't it? Yeah. So I got this one point, and then we're done. The right rules actually set us free. The right rules actually set us free. God has given us rules not to constrict us, but to save us. We are no longer bound by 613 rules. Our eternity is not based off of 613 perfectly perfect rules that we have to follow. Guess what, guys? You can eat bacon now. Woo! Why? Because God set us free. Jesus could follow these rules. Jesus fulfilled the law so that all we have to be held accountable to is two, loving God, loving others. At this time, I'm going to call Gage up here. Gage is going to give you some instructions on how to split up. And we're going to split up into groups. And just be mindful of the time. We only got about 15 minutes left, okay?
Okay, how many girl leaders are there? 1, 2, 3. All right, only 2. How many boy leaders are there? All right, there's 3. All the girls stand up and go to one side of the room. I'm going to give you 1 or 2. If you're 1, you'll go with Riley. If you're 2, you'll go with Brianna. Oh, wait, never mind. Riley, anyone who was with Riley last time, stay with her. And anyone who wasn't can be with Brianna.
Okay, so if you were with Riley last time, go with her. If you weren't, go with Brianna. That's good. Go with Brianna right here. This is Brianna.
All right, and all the boys go to the other side. Sure. I'll give you a number 1, 2, or 3. If you're 1, you'll be with Reagan. If you're 2, you'll...
If you were with Reagan last week.
Yeah, if you were with Reagan last week.
Go with who you were, and whoever's left over.
Yeah, everyone go with who you were last week. All right, you were with me last week? You should be going with... Why are you in the boys group? You're in the...